Gaming consoles, one of the greatest creations of all time, and the main causes of deaths on Black Friday, definitely left an incredible mark on society. And they're probably more appreciated now than ever. With such an influential creation, it just makes you wonder, how did we get here? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the history of console gaming. And yeah, I'm very much so aware my last video was about video games. Listen, I got 3 videos in the works right now, okay? Don't. The concept of gaming consoles started with early computer systems way back in the late 1950s and early 1960s. In the mid-20th century, having a computer was super expensive, and it was also primarily used for the military. So very few people had access to these computer systems. And to be honest, it makes sense. Look how fucking huge that is. That's ginormous. Despite the limited access to computers, some researchers and computer scientists began experimenting with creating games on these machines. These early games were text-based and had rudimentary graphics, often represented using characters or symbols. This led to one of the first games to ever be on a computer. Tennis for Two. Nope, wrong game. Tennis for Two, which is probably the dumbest game title ever. No duh. Of course tennis is for 2. It's a competitive sport. What the hell is tennis for 1? Explain that to me, William Higginbotham. What sense does that make? What last name is Higginbotham? And other influential games like Space War followed. Space War is a 2-player game in which players controlled spaceships and engaged in gravity-based battle. It's also often considered the precursor to modern video games. These very simple electronic games left an impression on many, but none like Ralph Baer. Baer had a personal passion for electronics and technology. This interest in electronics drove his curiosity and desire to explore new applications for electronic devices. He worked at Sanders Associates, a tech company exploring the potentials of electronic possibilities. And with this supportive environment and his desire to innovate, Baer created the Magnavox Odyssey. Baer recognized the market potential of creating an interactive television experience. The Magnavox Odyssey was the first commercially available home video game console. It introduced the entire concept of playing interactive electronic games on a home television, laying the foundation for the home console gaming market that would later become a multi-billion-dollar industry. In fact, it was so influential that it's referred to as the father of video gaming. But Ralph was more likely than not racist, so, next time you're on a Nintendo Switch playing Mario Party with your family and having a grand old time, remember you wouldn't be in that moment if it weren't for a more so than not racist man. Anyways, in the late 1970s, video game popularity blew through the fucking roof. Companies jumping on the hype one after another, making game after game, console after console. And the quick hype quickly got shot down. Like the end to a sugar rush, or Alex's father from Madagascar 2. Point is, it had a heavy crash. Many of these games lacked an innovation and had a repetitive layout. There was a lack of creativity, causing huge financial losses in the industry during this period. Sales dropped, companies went bankrupt, and dads began leaving to grab milk. But then, like a miracle, 2 years later, the NES was born. When the gaming industry was on the brink of failure, in came Japan with the Nintendo NES. In 1985, Nintendo launched the NES in North America, following its success in Japan. The NES was marketed as an entertainment system rather than a video game console, which made it avoid the negative connotations associated with video games at the time to increase its chances at success. And hey, it worked. Fake it till you make it, my brother. And though that lie did add to their success, there are further reasons as to why the NES performed so well. The NES's library created memorable characters and games, and their characters like Mario and Link became instant icons and beloved characters. They also indulged in a policy called the Nintendo Seal of Quality, guaranteeing quality games. This policy helped rebuild trust in consumers to buy new video games. They also featured new accessories like the Zapper Light Gun and the Power Glove to enhance gaming experiences. And if you didn't know what these are, I didn't know either. I'm just associating these things to Guitar Hero. And with this expansion to Western territory and its increase in popularity, Nintendo enabled third-party support. Third-party support to what, you ask? Oh, ho, ho. Well, of course, all thanks to Nintendo, during the mid-1990s, the gaming industry underwent a significant transformation with the introduction of 3D gaming. This era marked a fundamental shift in the way games were developed, presented, and played. Infamous consoles such as the Sony PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and the Sega Saturn are prime examples of 3D gaming consoles that made a huge impact at the time. A few pioneers of this era come with Super Mario 64 and Final Fantasy. I don't know how to read Roman numerals. Oh yeah, this short era of video games also began the war that truly matters in the history of everything, really. Sonic versus Mario. And thanks to the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, the world's best canon event ever happened. Thanks, 1990s! The huge success and how impressive 3D art and console games were, this led to the end of an era, but the birth of another, starting with the PlayStation 2, one of the best-selling consoles ever. It included games like GTA San Andreas and Metal Gear Solid 2. Some would say peak game fiction, but I digress. I want you to play Tomodachi Life in Milfy City, then come to me talking about its peak. The PS2 was also the first console with a built-in DVD player, so yeah, that was pretty cool too. The PS2 is undeniably the best there is, but in the wise words of Benjamin Franklin, every action has an equal opposite reaction. And do you know what that means? I don't. This is a segue to the Microsoft's Xbox. Xbox was Microsoft's way of getting into the growing industry being console gaming. And this of course led to peace and unity among gamers worldwide. A respectful, calm, kumbaya group of men and women alike. And this era was the most iconic era of console gaming. With drops like the PS3, Wii, and online gaming as well, it's hard to not call this the most goated era for console games ever. I mean, come on. Matt? Matt! Best ever of all of forever. And after all that change and evolution, we make it here today. The modern gaming consoles that I believe we are all familiar with. Consoles like the PS4, PS5, the Xboxes, Nintendo Switches, cloud gaming, and VR. And PC too, but you weren't in this episode, so all of this evolvement. And we're still, as humans, no further than we were 10 years ago. We are dying to know PlayStation v Xbox. And to be honest, they're both super good consoles. Both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X/S offer enhancements in graphical fidelity, performance, and gameplay. They're also designed to be seamlessly integrated into a broader gaming ecosystem. Additionally, both consoles aim to provide a more immersive experience through innovations in controller technology and graphical capabilities, making them exciting choices for gamers. And as a guy who used both, I literally don't see the point. The grass is no greener on the other side. What about the rest of the consoles? What about the rest of the consoles? It's a Nintendo Switch, cloud gaming is on the Xbox, and VR. What do you want me to say? Gaming consoles have come a long way since their inception, evolving from humble beginnings to becoming powerful multimedia entertainment hubs. Each era of gaming consoles has left its mark, shaping the way we play, connect, and experience video games. From the pioneering days of the Magnavox Odyssey and the revival brought by Nintendo Entertainment System, to the transition to the 3D gaming world with the Sony PlayStation, to today, consoles like the PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch ushering a new era of gaming and offering a plethora of entertainment options. And as we step into the future, the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S promise even greater graphical fidelity and immersion. Cloud gaming and virtual reality are expanding the possibilities of interactive entertainment. In the end, gaming consoles have not only entertained us, but also connected us. Their impact on culture and technology is undeniable, and the journey is far from over. The story of gaming consoles is one of innovation, competition, and enduring love of gamers worldwide. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Potato Poppy, aka P Poppy, aka P Snuggle, aka Team Nintendo. Yeah, I said it, and I'll see you guys later.